Hi, it's Alistair here from 01 Alchemy. Today I'd like to run through the world of digital marketing condensed, or rather simplified. No, wait. It's about putting some rules and logic in place for what appears to be a never-ending, fast-changing, incredible universe of options and things to try. Broken down like this. Although there are a million websites and thousands of strategies and places to advertise your business online, it really boils down to there's only three ways that anyone can visit a website. First of all, they go direct to your website. And that's just pure branding. That's the most important aspect, is how well you're promoting your business and how engaging your website is at bringing people in, referring their friends and family, and organically developing on your own steam. So we'll break direct down into two pieces, online and offline. Of course, today, as it's been for a few years now, the first thing that most people do when they're researching a problem or looking into buying something is they'll start with a search engine. And that's very easy because that also breaks down into two very easy to understand components. SEO, or search engine optimization, and pay per click, or search engine marketing as it's also known. And Google AdWords is the largest platform that does that. So I'll write them down. The only other way someone will visit a website or your website is if they're referred to your site from another source. So that way, this is the biggest bucket of them all. This is the entire rest of the universe outside of search engines and what you do on your own site. But predominantly, we can break those down into two things as well. One, the rise of social, and that in itself is a whole nother whiteboard. And the second is deals, how you're working with other companies in your community or in your marketplace. So I'll just write those down. So right away, we've got 6 individual marketing plans within the marketing plan, and there's a strategy for each of these that all fit together to comprise your integrated digital marketing program. The diagram in the middle is interesting. I developed it initially in about 2002 when I really developed my passion for internet marketing. And I initially called it the onion ice cream, but I think we can just call it an ice cream these days. Basically, the first is a pie chart that represents how Google Analytics reports your traffic sources. And Google splits all traffic coming into your website into these 3 areas of direct, search, and referral sources. So this is the universe of people coming in. But then underneath that, what isn't quite as obviously reported in Google Analytics, but what we can show you is how to look at the efficiency of taking that traffic from those sources and converting them into customers. So each of these stages here represents a customer funnel where they're being introduced to the company, they're researching options, they're perhaps defining the problem that they're wanting to solve, refining the solutions, and then finally deciding or booking or buying your product from you. So in that universe, it's called CRO, or Conversion Rate Optimization. What we do at 01 Alchemy is we take both pieces of this puzzle and apply it to each of the marketing channels that we're working on. So we want to calculate what the return on investment is for each of the strategies and look at improving the conversion rate on the website to further improve the ROI of each of the channels. When we put all them together, what we want to do is reach this outcome of an integrated marketing approach. In the past, you would perhaps employ internally a specialist in SEO or outsource an SEO company. You may already have someone internally that runs all your social media for you. And you may have a web developer who does technical bits and pieces on your website for you, and your marketing manager that puts together campaigns. In my experience, the very best companies and the best marketing campaigns are those that are fully integrated, where you find a pattern and efficiency in putting all these pieces together. Sometimes that means restructuring the internal team or looking at the partners that you outsource to so that it's not as fragmented, but bringing it all together. And I thought today I could just run through a quick example. So in essence, what we're going to do is use each of the digital channels to tell a story to customers and see how they all fit together. And then you can think about which resources you have at the moment that execute those for you and how efficiently you're doing this. So we're going to launch a new product. The very first thing we're going to do is launch a page on the website for that product. By doing that, as soon as we've added content to the website, we've done some SEO because we're making that content available for search engines to find. So that's an SEO tick. And normally you would use your internal or outsourced resource with experience in SEO to say, how can we best optimize this page so that it stands the best chance it can to get to the top of Google or page 1 of Google for what we're selling. Straight after that, we're going to do a homepage promotion. So we're going to go back to the website again, and this is going to be an online activity. A homepage special online. Seamless, very quick. Now, straight away, in this modern world, what we find works really well is obviously more versatile media. If a picture tells 1,000 words, a video tells 1,000 pictures. So let's do some video here. Now with the video, there's two main channels that you do right away without blinking. The first is YouTube. If you've got a YouTube account, it links into your existing Google account, which interlinks with Analytics, Google AdWords, Webmaster Tools, all the other tools that you have with Google. So YouTube, but also Facebook. So Facebook is really channeling advertisers and users to publish and promote videos as much as possible, probably to compete with Google. So we'll put Facebook here as well. In effect, we've just ticked a social media marketing box. Okay, we're off and running. The next thing that we'll do is build some deliberate, carefully worded ads to deploy onto the PPC engines such as Google AdWords and Bing ads and engage in that direct response marketing where we're finding people by the keywords they use and announcing this product right at the top of Google in that advertising space. So I'll throw that in next. I'm going to just call them text ads because after all, at the top of Google, that's what you're getting is a text ad. And I'll put AdWords here to make it clear. And that's PPC. Now, going one step further, what we want to do to really make this story resonate is after someone does a search, finds our text ad at the top of Google, clicks on it, comes through to the website, we've optimized that launch page to maximize the conversion into customers. But let's say someone falls out of the loop here and they only last on the website, maybe they're at the early stage of researching their problem or refining what they're looking for rather than buying there and then. So the next thing we want to do is remarketing. So remarketing, explained very quickly, is ads that we can send out to other websites, such as news websites, other content providers, and also through Facebook and other social networks that follow the person around for, say, 30 days after they've visited your website to remind them of the offer, of the special, to keep your product top of mind. And that's vital in today's world because we're bombarded with 1 million ads a minute, and in this in this multimedia world, if you're not there in a sustained manner, then you could well be losing out on the sales that make the big difference to the growth of your business. Now, remarketing falls into two categories here because Google has a remarketing engine as part of Google AdWords, and Facebook is the other leader in their engine, Facebook Ads. So it's also PPC and social. Okay, I think at this point, this is probably the essential items, the obvious ones, just to cover off our SEO, PPC, direct marketing, and social. Let's take a little bit further and pull in some of these other channels that I guess in a lot of cases I see are left behind, but with a very carefully documented process guide and a calendar and someone managing the resources, we can really go below this line and get the maximum potential out of the campaign. So the first thing we'll do is let's take some of the ads that we've used for remarketing, which will tend to be banners or perhaps videos, and let's tell others about it. Let's get the deal making in. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk to the media, which really is a form of SEO. Because when you're reaching out to media and doing press releases and publishing or syndicating articles out to other places, not only do you have that additional reach, but Google recognizes that and sees that there are other people talking about your company and your product, and then that's counting as links pointing back into the website. So it's actually got this great SEO value as well. But of course, the primary role here is we're going outside to do deals with others. An extension on this one would also, if you are involved in an affiliate campaign or affiliate program, or perhaps you're working with partners that are very close to you on a commission basis, then we want to update them with the deals as well. So let's do that. Let's update our affiliates. And that gets that happening as well. Next, what we'd like to do is go back and make it a loop and go back to the customers that have already visited the website, that have seen the video on Facebook, and engage with them some more. And by that I mean we could either run a competition where we're asking a questionnaire on what sort of features are involved in the product or the offer that they're asking about, and perhaps the one with all the correct answers and who have shared it with some friends go into the running to win one. Or it could be a feedback, a more direct one with a questionnaire asking people what they feel is defined by the problem, or what they define as the problem. So let's do that. Let's do a social interaction. And we'll do a survey. Now with that survey, we can do a lot, because we've got some data now that says, you know what, 12% of people find their favorite thing to do on holidays is relax by the beach. 18% of people want to go surfing. 9% of people laze around the pool, that sort of thing. So with those survey results, we can loop back and publish another story to the media. We can loop back with that survey and retarget our social audience with the results of that and build it into a multi-step approach to contacting customers. Taking it another step further, we've also got another very important step that is often missed by companies that are going out to market with a new product, and that's to talk to existing customers, your existing database. So let's email existing customers which is a form of online marketing, of course. Let's email them the survey as well and get the survey results and understand what they're looking for. And in the process, of course, email is one of the highest ROI channels that still exist because we've got an existing relationship with our customers, they love us dearly, and by plugging them straight back into the funnel, if it's exactly what they're looking for, the conversion rate is usually very high. And then finally, just tying it all together, let's go back to offline. So what can you also do offline with the power of the campaign and all the materials that you've done? The first obvious one is to take these survey results and to speak to the media again in an offline sense, speaking with television programs, news media, and things like that. But in its purest element, we can do simple things, brochures, flyers, materials, and what we can do by going on this journey first is use the rapid deploy, quick ROI calculation online media world to see what works. We can look at what the video has done for us versus the text ads. We can take the videos that work exceptionally well and plug them into a TV campaign. We could take the text ads and refine what wording is really resonating best. What's the core call to action that's driving a result, and turn that into a print ad or a classified ad. Classifieds, are they still around? And with the remarketing ads and the banners that we do, that can inform us on what creative is working, so that when you're going to do a big print campaign in a magazine or so forth, we can get the feedback from the data, from all the digital stuff. So we'll just finally wrap it all up with an offline advertising. So I think this is integrated marketing in 2016. Breaking down to the simplest way of identifying all the channels, the stakeholders who are involved in each of these channels, bringing them all together, having someone coordinate these efforts, and then with that layered effect, a customer, when they're researching, sees the ad on Google, the page is there. When they hit the website, it's a big splash. They might see it on TV, they might pick it up in a newspaper, and all of a sudden your ROI from each channel and each activity that you do is magnified because you've added them all together and the channels all cross over. So that's it for now, just trying to keep it as nice and simple as possible. Thank you very much.